Once upon a time, in the village of Buddanapalli, there was a man named Seenaya who had a son named Shankaraya. Seenaya firmly believed that his son was good for nothing. Without a mother, the child was pampered but constantly scolded, which hindered his ability to think for himself. One day, Seenaya's brother-in-law, Mallaya, visited their home.
Brother-in-law, your son is of marriageable age now. Are you looking for a match?
Not yet. Besides, who would marry such a fool? It must be my bad karma.
While they were talking, Shankaraya walked out of the house, oblivious to their conversation. Seeing this, Seenaya said,
Instead of ignoring us, why don't you come and greet your uncle before leaving? Do I need to tell you everything?
He scolded. Shankaraya approached and greeted his uncle.
Uncle, how are you?
He greeted and left before his uncle could respond, leaving Mallaya looking disappointed.
You are right, brother-in-law. It's difficult. He left before I could even respond. Anyway, I will be back later.
Mallaya left. Seenaya called out to his son.
What was that, Shankaraya? You greeted your uncle, but didn't wait to hear what he had to say. How could you leave like that?
But Dad, you told me to greet him and leave. That's exactly what I did. How is it my fault?
Growing up with his father's constant instructions, Shankaraya turned into a simpleton. The only thing he excelled was diving into the village pond and holding his breath for a long time. Whatever task his father gave him, he managed to mess up. Unable to bear it anymore, Seenaya thought,
Maybe my brother-in-law Mallaya is right. Perhaps getting him married will bring some sense into him, and I will have some help at home. Maybe a daughter-in-law will take care of the household duties.
Despite this hope, no one in the village was willing to marry their daughter to Shankaraya. One day, Seenaya heard of a potential match in a nearby village. Taking his son for the marriage proposal, he explained in detail how to behave.
Look, no one in our village is willing to marry you. So, we are looking for a match in the next village. Don't act foolishly there. As soon as we arrive, remove your shoes, leave them behind the door, and sit in the chair they show you. I will handle the rest. Got it?
Shankaraya nodded, trying to remember his father's instruction, and sat in the cart.
First, I remove my shoes, leave them behind the door, and sit in the chair. Remove shoes, leave behind the door, sit in the chair.
Repeating this to himself, the instructions got mixed up on the way. When they reached the village and entered the house, Shankaraya removed his shoes, placed them on the chair, and sat behind the door. The girl's father immediately understood everything.
Oh my God! What a fool you brought here! Did you think I would marry my daughter to such an idiot? No, we don't want this match. Leave immediately, or I will have you thrown out.
He sent them away. Humiliated, Seenaya returned home and lashed out at Shankaraya.
Shankaraya, what did I tell you to do? And what did you do? You will never get married. Only a fool give their daughter to you. Go and find that fool. Leave me alone.
Misinterpreting his father's words, Shankaraya thought,
So, a fool will give me a daughter. Dad said so, all right. I will find that fool tonight and get married.
Determined, Shankaraya set out to find the fool who would give him a bride. He travelled for 3 days and on the 4th evening reached a mountain area, hearing strange sounds from a cave. He thought,
What is that sound from the cave? Someone must be there. Maybe the fool who will give me a bride is hiding here.
Peeking inside, he saw a demon snoring. Approaching the demon, he noticed the demon matted hair and thought,
This must be fool scared and hiding. You can't escape me.
He grabbed the demon's hair and shook him awake. The demon woke up and roared.
Who are you? Why did you wake me up?
He asked angrily.
You can't escape without giving me a bride. Fool! Marry with your daughter and give me dowry now.
He twisted the demon's ear, enraged. The demon was about to attack Shankaraya when the demon's wife emerged out of the cave, hearing the commotion. Who is it? Why are you shouting?
This man wants to marry our daughter and calls me a fool. I am teaching him a lesson.
Have you lost your mind? Our daughter is a bit chubby, and no one in our clan wants to marry her. Now that a groom has come looking for her, you should be welcoming him. Are you really a demon? She scolded her husband.
Are you my mother-in-law? I only know the fool. But where is the bride?
He looked around. Are you looking for the bride? She just went for a walk. She will be back in a while. Rest here for now, son.
Oh, okay. If you say you will give me a bride, I will do as you say, mother-in-law.
Shankaraya ate the food given by the demon's wife and fell asleep in the cave. Meanwhile, the demon, craving to eat Shankaraya, told his wife,
I can't resist. He looks strong. Let me eat him tonight.
No. Finally, our daughter will get married because of him. Keep your hunger in check. Don't act crazy. She sat guarding Shankaraya. The demon's daughter returned at midnight, causing a commotion that woke Shankaraya, who overheard their conversation. Where did you go? Your groom has come looking for you. Go see him quickly. Hearing this, the shy demon's daughter said, Really, mother? Where is he? She peeked into the cave and saw Shankaraya, who was horrified by her appearance.
Oh no, is this who I thought I would marry? This is terrible.
He thought. Seeing Shankaraya, the demon's daughter said, Wow, he is handsome, just like butter, very attractive. Are you going to eat him? No, don't do that. You won't find another groom for you. She warned her daughter. Okay, but what about father? He will not let a human go without eating him. That's why I am guarding here. I will be back in a while. You keep an eye on him. Saying this, she left. As she left, the demon's daughter grew more tempted to eat Shankaraya. Not wanting to do this inside the cave, she woke him up. The wedding preparations are done. Let's go. Shankaraya, understanding her trick, said,
How can we marry immediately? First you need to give me the dowry. Without that, no wedding.
Hearing this, the demon's daughter went inside, brought out a bag full of jewels and gold, and gave it to Shankaraya. Here are the jewels my father saved for my wedding. Take them as dowry and marry me. Let's go. Holding the bag tightly, Shankaraya followed her out of the cave. Once outside, he said,
Wait, how can we marry without bathing? We need auspicious items first.
Is it necessary now? All right, let's go. She took him to a pond. He jumped in with the bag and sat in the water. The demon's daughter, afraid of water, shouted, Are you coming out or not? How long will you stay in water? Come out quickly. I'm scared of water. She shouted. Hearing no response, she thought, If he stays in the water, he will die by tomorrow. Then I can eat him. I need to go home now. It's getting late. She said aloud,
All right, it's your fate. I'm leaving. Come if you want.
She left. The demon's wife returned.
Where is my son-in-law? I brought food for him.
She looked into the cave and found Shankaraya missing.
Oh no! I thought my daughter would finally marry, but her father and sisters ate him. Now she will never marry.
She cried. Meanwhile, Shankaraya, surfacing from the water, saw the demon's daughter gone. He slowly got out with the bag.
Finally, I escaped the demon. Thanks to the only skill I have, I survived and even got all this gold. I must go and tell my father.
He returned home with the bag. His father was overjoyed to see him return with wealth.
You have proved yourself bringing back jewels and gems.
I thought my son was useless, but he returned with wealth enough for generations. Now I believe he can live on his own. I'm very happy.
The news spread throughout the village and people began talking about Shankaraya. Eventually, he found a good match, got married, and soon proved his worth by succeeding in business, showing that the skill he had was enough to become wealthy.